then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They wanna make that fight because it's a payday, obviously. But I don't want that fight. I think Teofimo deserves more than me.
It's a great fight. People want to see it, then we'll do it. You know, I don't say no to any fight. You know, as long as it's eye catching and eye candy to all of you that are watching right now. That's what really matters, you know. So, however, my main focus is truthfully is Crawford, and I know so it is.
The boxing world just got turned completely upside down because the rumors everybody laughed at are suddenly starting to feel real. Reports are exploding across social media claiming a jaw-dropping $400 million mega fight between Terence Crawford and Teofimo Lopez has finally been signed, and fans cannot believe what they're hearing. Nobody expected this matchup to happen so fast. Crawford has been hunting for legacy-defining fights after dominating multiple divisions, while Teofimo Lopez has spent months calling out the biggest names in boxing, demanding respect from doubters who still question his greatness. But now, it looks like the two outspoken champions may be heading straight toward one of the richest and most dangerous showdowns in modern boxing history. The internet erupted the moment the alleged deal leaked online. Some fans are calling it the fight of the decade. Others think Teofimo is making the biggest mistake of his life stepping into the ring with a technician as ruthless as Crawford. Analysts are already debating whether Lopez's speed and explosive counters could actually trouble Crawford, or if Bud's experience will completely expose him under the bright lights and the money involved. Insane. Sources close to the negotiations claim broadcasters, sponsors, and international investors pushed this fight over the finish line with an unbelievable financial package that could shatter combat sports records. If true, this wouldn't just be a boxing match, it would become a global event. But here's where things get even crazier. Insiders are hinting that the first face-off between Crawford and Lopez nearly got heated behind closed doors. Trash talk reportedly started immediately, with both men refusing to back down for even a second. Teofimo allegedly promised to shock the world, while Crawford stayed ice-cold and warned him he has no idea what's coming. Now fans everywhere are asking the same question: is Teofimo Lopez about to pull off the impossible, or is Terence Crawford preparing to remind the world exactly why he's one of the most feared fighters alive?
Crawford is a great fighter, and I don't want to talk about that. He's a great fighter, and I have nothing to...
Seth later explained his earlier surprising choice. He said that they are focused on making fights that make money and are exciting, which Canelo doesn't seem to be interested in. He said, "I knew he was wasting our time and making excuses with large sums of money that couldn't be paid, so I'm continuing my way to make big fights that serve the boxing world, and he's on his way to making easy, shonky fights." Canelo didn't spend any time responding to Turkey's comments, which came out after his angry press conference and fight with Eder Bonga, which almost turned into a fight. Casey says he wasn't excited about this fight because he and Crawford are different sizes. Even though he likes Crawford as a fighter, he doesn't think of him as a tough opponent, especially after how he fought Movsalov recently.
Fight Teofimo first, and then we'll see, right? At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not asking for that fight. They wanna make that fight because it's a payday, obviously, but I don't want that fight. I think Teofimo deserves.
Canelo looked angry about how he was treated. Dan said he would have agreed to the deal on his own terms because he doesn't like how the Saudis do business. This is why Crawford is having so much trouble. If Crawford wants to fight someone, Canelo thinks Teofimo Lopez is the best choice. Lopez is the best fighter at 140 pounds, and Crawford deserves to fight him.
Making boxing great again. That's what I came back to do. Because I know as long as I keep facing the fighters, calling out champions like Terence Crawford, that people are like, this man's crazy. Well, yeah, I'm crazy. I mean, I'm crazy to be great. When was that a problem? You know, and I mentioned that Roberto Duran fought all four kings or three kings and was a guy that everyone respects highly. Muhammad Ali faced Joe Frazier and so many other great champions that, you know, and got dropped in front of the world, in front of him. Like, who cares? You go.
After Canelo's comments, the attention is now on Timo. This has brought up an old argument about who would win if Lopez and Bud Set ever fought. Since TFO keeps asking to fight big names like Bud C, Jerwana Davies, and Jaron Anise, it looks like he may finally get the big fights he's been waiting for.
Adamant in calling out Terence Crawford, saying that that's his match.
He don't bring to the table neither. Trash, he trash. He used to be good, but now he trash. You heard it first. Y'all put it out there. He trash, you trash. You straight trash.
After seeing the fight between Quinn and Moth, Teofimo said that it was clear that Terence's age was showing because the once ferocious boxer wasn't in the ring during the fight. He seemed unhappy about this. Further, Teofimo said that he wished to work with Crawford right away because he knew that as Terence got older, his rare chance would be lost.
Maybe. Number one, I think Crawford needed to look exceptional against Madrimov, so we know that, okay, he's now good at 154, he can maybe take that double jump to 168. Although he looked good, he didn't look exceptional, and that's no slight on Crawford. Madrimov's a very good fighter, but I felt like we needed to see something a bit special for us to get really.
As one of the most famous fighters in his welterweight division and the current IBF world champion, Jaron Ennis was also considered as a possible opponent. He said that Ennis could provide the big fight that Teofimo has been looking for since his comeback earlier this year. However, Teofimo still wants to fight Crawford whenever he gets the chance, whether it's this year or later. He says that it would be a huge step forward.
Odds are just too big. I think Turkey said that he sent an offer to Canelo. I think Canelo's rejected it, and I think I saw an interview, or at least read something about Canelo wanting, I think, over 100 million. So, yeah.
However, even though Canelo's comments support Tifo's desire to fight Crawford, it looks like Crawford and his team are still not sure about this. This was shown when Terence's wings trainer and avid supporter Braun Bulk McIntyre slammed him MO for thinking he was setting up a fight between them and not holding back. Brian Bulk McIntyre said that this phrase doesn't even make sense because Timo doesn't bring anything useful to the table that could interest Crow. In addition, he said that Timo is not worthy of fighting Crawford even if this were not true because he has lost the shine that he used to have.
If someone's willing to put up the 250 million,
I mean,
would you negotiate down?
no less than 200.
No less than 200.
Ooh.
All right, let's get 200. Hey, y'all, we got enough people in the room.
A well-known boxing expert and commentator named Adola Depot recently looked at the whole situation and told his readers that Canelo versus Crawford might not happen. He first noticed that Crawford's performance against Israel Madov, while good, wasn't quite the show-stopping performance that would get people excited about a possible 168-pound jump. According to AOD, a great performance was needed to get a lot of attention for the fight, but Crawford's performance wasn't great. It was also said that Alec had made an offer to Canelo, but he turned it down. Canelo's requests for more than $100 million could be a big problem that makes the fight less likely to happen.
Things that do not. So, yes, he is one of those guys who fights the difficult fights. He goes after the guys, like you said, Champ, Paulie, that, you know, he's sought after these big fights. He also fights a lot of these tough guys that people don't want to fight. The Sandor Martins of the world, the Jermaine Ortizes of the world. Those are tough outs, and you don't get a lot for beating them. And then when you get raked over the coals when you don't.
At this point, the only thing that can make this happen is a big paycheck, which Alec is not giving. A famous boxing commentator named Jim Lampley talked about how this is a great chance for both Canelo and Crawford to make a lot of money. He said that Canelo, who has made the most money, is different from Crawford, who is known as the best fighter in terms of pound-for-pound value. Lampley said that even though fighters want to be number one pound for pound, the big money that comes with it is a much bigger deal, especially for someone like Crawford, who is 36 and has a short career window. Lampley said that he told Crawford that at age 36, he only has a short time to make a lot of money and become very wealthy. Crawford would go up against Canelo, who makes the most money in the sport. Lampley stressed that this fight is an important chance for Crawford to get paid a lot of money before the end of his career, he added.
When you're starting to chase dragons and gorillas, like I always say, like the Terence Crawfords of the world, lions and tigers and bears. Yeah, lions, tigers, bears, dragons. You start chasing these kinds of fights, it turns the fans off because you have a ton of tigers that you can actually fight all around you. And you're
now, let's say that money is the only thing that drives Canelo to do what he does. That's why he moved from Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing to Premier Boxing Champions. Canelo's decision to move to the PBC, which is run by Al Haymon, was largely driven by money. Haymon was able to get Canelo a profitable 3-fight deal worth over $100 million, which shows how important money is to him. This change showed that big money incentives can make a fighter's advertising relationships with Canelo Alvarez change. Now that Canelo is set to fight Edgar Berlanga instead of David Benavidez as planned, there is more talk about the fight. The matchup with Benavidez was not long in coming, but financial problems have slowed it down. Canelo's large cash demands have been a major cause of the delays and change in opponents. Canelo Alvarez talked about why he wanted a big financial deal for a possible fight with David Benavidez. He admitted that there were risks, pointing out Benavidez's skill and the fact that he would be much heavier than Canelo. Despite these problems, Canelo was confident in his ability to win as long as the money was paid. In a recent show, Alvarez said that Canelo should get around $250 million. He said that this is the only amount of money that will make him stand up to Pavlov's offer. He would not accept less than $200 million under any circumstances.
And he's a type of fighter that fights to the level of his competition. So if he fights a guy like Crawford, he's going to show up and he's going.
According to Senor, Terence and his team's hurtful comments about his son led to this. Senor said that his son is the best fighter at 140 right now, and for Brian B.A.C. McIntyre to say things like that, it's just plain disrespectful because they want to fight Lopez. Senior even warned Crawford gently, saying that they are ready to fight him whenever he wants because Teofimo has repeatedly shown that he is a skilled and quick fighter who can also move up to either 147 or 150 to fight Bud, who is said to be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He also said that many people weren't impressed by Teofimo's performance against Steve, but Lopez Sr. made it clear that this view is hypocritical because his son beat Josh Taylor, who was a formidable opponent at the time. Lopez Sr. also said, "If you think about the fight between Teofimo and Josh Taylor last year, it might not be as famous as Lopez Sr. says it is. Even though Teofimo won by unanimous decision, his performance was not good enough to challenge an undisputed world champion like Crawford, even though he is getting older." This is why Lopez Sr. talks about Teofimo going after guys that no one wants to fight. Chris Algieri, a former boxer and welterweight world champion, said that even though people don't trust Teofimo because of his bad behavior, he still doesn't mind fighting bigger and tougher opponents, even though he knows he will lose. On the other hand, Chris pointed out that Teofimo has been lying for a long time about how everyone is supposedly ignoring him because he keeps saying he only wants to fight guys like Terence Crawford when there aren't many other fighters in his weight class available. In the meantime, we can fight them in these fantasy matchups. Chris said that Terence doesn't want to fight Teofimo because it wouldn't be worth his time or skill, which was already said by Brian Bulk McIntyre. Chris says that Teofimo should stay in his weight class and fight guys who are similarly sized to him instead of going after a fighter who is many weight classes bigger than him. Besides, Chris's co-host on the same show, Paulie Malik Nagy, argued against him by saying that Teofimo's choice to go after fights with big fighters like Terence Crawford might not be such a bad one after all. It would give him a chance to finally show off his skills and prove to the world that he is a worthy opponent, even though they didn't care about his coats.
Us right now, and it would seem crazy, it would seem out of this world if Teo took a fight like that and nobody saw it coming, so let me use his name. It's just like other fighters use other fighters.
Steve Klett-Pulley used an example of his work to say that if Teofimo gives up his goals to find the best fighter, he might be stuck with fighters like Steve, who are good opponents but not very popular or fun to watch, or Content Pulley said, in the same way that his fellow commentator Tim Bradley did. Teofimo seems to be thinking that there is nothing wrong with a boxer looking for big opponents who can help them move up in their career. This is something that Bradley said also applies to boxing. When asked about the most common complaint that Teofimo is only going after guys for the attention and money he can make from it, Teofimo said that at the end of the day, every boxer wants to make a name for themselves and leave a legacy, so it doesn't make sense for everyone to group together against Teofimo for doing the same thing. His tone makes it clear that he cares more about his image. Greg Hackett, a famous trainer, thinks that TFO's claims that he is building a legacy by fighting only guys like Teren are false because he is wasting his time when he could focus on fighting other fighters in his own weight class. Crawford doesn't have that option, so he moves up to higher weight classes. Greg said,
see him being a bigger Teofimo.
Yeah.
He's a bigger Teofimo that can do everything.
Ooh.
You feel me?
Ooh.
Yeah, they're a bigger Teo. Teo got all the intangibles, power, boxing, everything. Yeah. But I think Crawford has that too.
Greg also said that Teren will definitely win if this unplanned fight ever happens because he is a better fighter than a much smaller Teimo, even after his recent fight against Madoff. When asked about the criticism Teimo seems to get a lot, Greg said that the most obvious reason Teimo has for giving all of these codes to Crawford is to cash in on Bud's fame, which is a controversial strategy that many fighters use these days. He also thinks Terence will beat Teimo easily in this fight. Antonio Tarver, a former heavyweight world champion, said that Teren would win because he is stronger in every way than Teimo. Antonio said that the younger fighter has some amazing skills, but they aren't as good as Bud's magic. Even though most boxing fans were against Teo, he was still set on the idea of fighting starter boxes, like Lira and NIS, who he mentioned in his most recent statement. It's not surprising that Jiren was able to catch Teo's attention, as Boots is one of the best fighters in the welterweight division, with a record of 32 wins and 29 knockouts. Given the history of these two fighters and their combined popularity, this fight would not only get a lot of attention from voted fans. It's also time to put an end to the rumors about who is the best fighter in this division, especially after seeing clips of their supposed fight. Don Rafael, on the other hand, believes that Boots sisters and Terence Crawford should fight each other instead of working things out with Teimo because neither of them can benefit from that deal at this point in their careers. Den said,
and it would seem crazy, it would seem out of this world if Teo took a fight like that and nobody saw it coming, so let me use his name. It's just like other fighters use.
Since they knew everything there was to know about the boxing world, they told the truth about why Turkey changed his mind about setting up the big fight between Canelo and Crawford. They said it was because Canelo wouldn't do what he wanted, even though this fight might not happen. As he said, Turkey still wants to set up big fights for Crawford, like a fight with Boots or maybe Teofimo Lopez. So, what do you guys think about the decision to cancel the highly anticipated fight between Canelo and Crawford? Do you think it was the right thing for Turkey to do? Shouldn't FightNews really be looking for a fight with Terence Crawford? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe to our channel.